A vital ingredient in any series of Beadles About is the front garden outrage. Well, Dawn Aldous came home to find all her furniture on the lawn. Here's Dawn now.
Is that your house? You're joking.
Excuse me, what's going on?
Morning, missus. Who are you? Oh, dear. Bailiffs, missus.
I beg your pardon?
Bailiffs, missus.
Yeah? What's it?
Sorry, we'll see that. Oh, dear. We've had a court order, missus.
For who? I want to see the thing you've got.
Oh, you have to speak to Mr. Milton about that when he comes back, missus.
Milton's get here now.
Well, he's around somewhere. He's been at the betting shop, that's all. He'll be back in a minute.
Yes, you get him there.
Well, I'll just...
I'll tell you something. You have got something.
I'll put it in here.
Get it out!
This is from the court. Thank you very much. I know it's not very pleasant, this, missus, but we have a job to do.
I know what this is about, a car that we
Is
have
it?
never ever owned. I have phoned Drake, the bailiff who took over this before.
It's our chief bailiff.
Mrs. Cook.
No, I am not
Peter
Mrs.
Milton.
Cook. I am Mrs. Aldous.
Mrs. Aldous,
Yes,
where?
this is my house.
This is your house?
You want my driving licence?
Just a minute, just a minute.
Just a minute.
Just a minute. Mrs. Cook. No,
I am not Mrs. Cook. I am Mrs. Aldous.
Does Mr.
I have phoned Drake's the bailiff. I have phoned all the courts what this is to do with. It's been going on for 2 years. I've been to see a solicitor.
Just a minute, calm
Dawn,
down, calm
wait a
down.
minute. I found
I am not very calm at all. I come home and phone my house and my front garden. I have never been Mrs. Cook, and Mr. Cook has never ever lived here.
Yeah.
And if you find out from the cook, you'll find out where the car is.
It's immaterial to us. It's no use getting at me, missus. I've been given this to...
Why have you got to enter my house without me being here?
We do have...
Move all my property.
We do have the right. You were sent a letter about this.
I was sent a load of letters I've been sent. London, Gravesend, Medway.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Cook's house. He has never lived here, and I am sick to death of it.
I understand, I understand your
Will you
situation.
tell him to stop putting my furniture in
Well-
your van?
Now, whether you're Mr. Cook or not is immaterial.
You've got no right
We
to
have a
remove
warrant.
property from the house that isn't Mr. Cook's.
Well, we have got the authority to remove these goods in connection with these parking
But
offences.
they are
which
not
which
Mr. Cook's. It isn't Mr. Cook's property. It is my property.
But the car, I believe, JYK1K, is registered to this property.
It is not registered to this property. It's registered to somebody in Sittingbourne.
That's your car, is
That is
it?
my car, yes.
Right.
Would you like to check the registration number of it?
This thing's been going on for so long. There are 11 outstanding warrants. And the thing is building up now, because what we've got is the
I
parking
don't
fine of
care. It
£18.
has nothing to do with me.
Well, we've got £18 and there's a £15 bailiff's fee.
Will you
There's
tell him to stop putting
£2.25.
my furniture in the van?
We have to take it now. If
You are not taking it.
If you'll get it back before the auction.
You are joking, aren't
Dawn,
This
I'll
one
phone
here.
him. Wait a minute, Dawn.
He seems to have got it. Is it jam, Malcolm?
Hang on, miss, I'm going to give it a whack with a
Don't
crowbar in a minute and get it out.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
I'm not taking it out.
I'll have to whack it with a crowbar. That's
Dawn,
jam.
wait.
Mrs.
Dawn.
Aldous, look, if you could just come and sort this out with me, perhaps we might be able to sort some arrangement out.
I have told you, I am not Mrs. Cook, Mr. Cook.
Right, okay, I understand you're not Mrs. Cook or Mr. Cook.
Down to the courts about this.
Now we're bringing back the car that's caused all the trouble. The very car she doesn't own.
No right.
Now, these chairs, how long have you had them?
Yes,
About 2 years.
What's going on here? I'm from the Metropolitan Police.
They're removing my property.
Oh, well, that's nothing to do with me. Well, I just brought a car back and thought... I brought a car back to the I've just got to deliver the car up and collect the outstanding fee of 283 quid.
It's not my car. It's never been my car. It's never been my husband's car.
Well, that's not my problem.
It's not my car. You can do what you like with it. You can leave it there.
But you live
Don't
here,
get
do
any
you?
money from me, and it isn't my car.
Well, I'll take a cheque if you haven't got the cash. Well, it's not like what if these lot have upset you, you know. I mean, I've just brought the car
How would you
back.
feel?
Hey?
How would you feel?
Well, I'm just doing the job of delivering cars back to
You live
people.
in a car, but it's
I have done.
Well, you're right, you can live it up the road.
I've delivered it, haven't I? All right.
So would you, Mrs. Aldous,
What?
would you say
Remember how she parked the car? Well, meet our traffic warden.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sorry, but you know
Just don't put another parking ticket on it.
Well, you know it's illegally parked.
Mrs. Aldous?
Dawn, why do you move stuff? Dawn.
Mrs. Aldous, you've been a bit unreasonable about this. I'm trying to help you here.
What do you think? What do you think's reasonable about coming home and finding my house on my front garden?
Well, it's
I don't
not
think
your
that's
fault,
very
is it?
reasonable, and it certainly isn't mine.
Yes, Aldous, I've had to issue you with a ticket for the van. I'm
Tell me not to leave.
sorry, and I've had to... Sorry about that.
Yes, but when I get that, I should say that you told me not to move the thing.
I appreciate it.
So,
I don't know.
If we could get this stuff out, we'll probably find it.
we'll get it out.
Can you manage to put it?
I admit it's not a very good time, like, but I would like to... Well, if I did, I'd have to bring it back.
Can we get the neighbours' sausages?
Shut up now.
Can we get this van unloaded and then probably we'll find your phone at the back of it somewhere? Well, I guess it's in the van somewhere.
It's the policeman now.
You
Let
sure?
me sort it out.
Aha, it's Sergeant Beadle to investigate this little disturbance.
Go away, will you just go away? I've never driven the car.
Well, you okay, I'll be away.
Right, what's going on here, please?
Hey?
What's going on here?
I'll sort that out.
empowered.
Excuse me, whose house is this?
Mine.
Would you come here, please?
You
Would you stand up? What's the problem?
It's not to do with me. It's to do with this lady.
Can you just explain it to me, can't you? I understand. Would you please, we've had complaints.
We have 2 years been getting parking fines for this car here. That's been parked on both three roads in London, apparently. I have sent first of all started sending them back, saying that the car didn't belong to us, it never had belonged to us. Then we got a summons from one of the courts, and again I wrote to them and said that it wasn't our car. Then it went to Dartford Magistrates Court, and the same thing happened. They wanted the money for the payment of the fines. I explained that the car had never been ours, we've never owned it, and Mr. Cook has never lived here.
I see.
Well, the original flavour wrote to me saying that they were going to seize goods up to value, so I went to seize as my name was at this station, could be there, working hard against my secretary and move my tenant. And I've got a letter somewhere stating to that effect, and I can't find it. Bailiffs or whatever, and they're trying to get in touch with the magistrates court at Chatham now because they've issued the warrant for seizure of my goods.
Right, well, what I think we need to do is just
They're at
to...
lunch at the moment.
Who's that? Right, okay. So I think what we need to do is to just wait until after lunch. Once we've done that, we can establish precisely what we're doing.